One of the most underappreciated things in this case, I think, is the way that Alex Murdaugh was talking about his wife, Mags, and his son, Paul, as Paw Paw. Why do I think that was important? Because it was the first time he ever used those nicknames. In none of the other interrogations did he ever say, oh, Paw Paw this and Paw Paw that. And when it comes to testifying, credibility is incredibly important. And here is the moment when Alex Murdaugh was confronted about suddenly using these adoring names for his son and his wife.
Paw Paw? That was your nickname for Paul?
I mean, I called him Paw Paw. Maggie called him Paw Paw. Bus calls him Paw Paw.
Sure.
Roro calls him Paw Paw. I mean, that's
Roro? Who was Roro?
That's Rogan Gibson.
Okay. And this jury, of course, has heard multiple recorded statements of you during the course of this. Did you ever refer to Paul as Paw Paw during that?
I don't know.
And then after that, he actually says something effective. Well, if you want me to call him Paul, I will, which, of course, wasn't the point. Am I overstating this? I mean, is this not that big a deal?
No, it shows what a liar he is, what a manipulator he is. He comes up with these nicknames just for the jury's sake. The whole family dynamic was weird. There was the testimony of Buster, remember, when they asked him about his father's birthday, and he didn't know. I don't know anyone who doesn't know their father's date of birth. So there was just a lot of weird stuff going on this whole trial, and I'm just glad the jury saw through it.
What do you make of it, Sarah? I mean, were you troubled? The minute he started the Paw Paw stuff, I started highlighting it and saying, I think this is a bigger deal than most people are making it out to be.
I don't think it's a big deal, but I am going to call you Dan Dan and Dave Dave. Here's the deal.
Yes.
He was speaking to law enforcement. I think when you speak to law enforcement, it's a different, you're making a report, you got to give legal names, you got to refer to people with their legal names. In court, the problem was this prosecutor lost control of the witness. He just let Alex Murdaugh, if you remember, testify and narrate and just tell his story. So when you're telling that kind of story to a jury, and remember, he's a lawyer, he's a trial lawyer, Alec is. So he was, endearing. I mean, but he didn't lie that it was Paw Paw and Mag or whatever, because other people, I think his brother John Marvin testified that those are their nicknames, you know.
It just sounded so phony and fake and so now we have the advantage of having hindsight, right? We can look back and we can say, well, could have seen. I mean, the fact that Anjanette Levy's at the courthouse saying, yeah, well, there were a lot of people here expecting the verdict was going to come back tonight. Like, really? I mean, no one I knew thought it was going to come back tonight, which is amazing. So, look, it very well may be that people thought that. But as I was listening to the testimony, I kept focusing on issues that'll go to his credibility, right? Yes, he's admitting certain lies. But what about the things he's not admitting, right? That's the sort of stuff that I was trying to focus on, which is why that I thought that this sort of moment was significant. Sarah, you didn't even think there was going to be a conviction? You thought it was going to be a hung jury, right?
I did, and actually in the last, I'd say couple weeks, I thought the split would be in favor of the defense. So I wasn't saying not guilty, but it really was shaping up that way. But, I don't know, and I don't think this is an issue with, like, South Carolina jury. I just think that it was too big a lie. It was too big a lie, and they just couldn't look past it.
Yep. Look, I thought that a hung jury was probably more likely than a conviction. Those were the only two options I saw. I thought it'd be one or two jurors. I was wrong. At the very least, I thought this was going to be a long deliberation. I was wrong about that. Anyway, Dave Aronberg, Sara Azari, thank you. That does it for us tonight. Banfield starts now. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.